We are live.
Live again.
Woo woo!
All right. So let me pop over to the chat. Just because this is my biggest complaint about the stupid Google Hangouts is the chat separately.
Agreed.
Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't have the chat into like the system that we have. It's so weird.
All right. So casual.
Hey, how's it going, bud?
Unboxing.
Unboxing. What's up, man? AGTB.
Hey,
welcome.
while you're here, man, thank you so much for that amazing package. I got to see the video of it while I was away. Just incredible. You went above and beyond, dude. The amount of stuff you put in there, the quality of stuff you put in there. Thank you so much.
Well, Nate's not using his webcam yet because, like I said, he just barely got back from being out of town. So
yeah, I just got back last night, but I plan to use it next live stream for sure.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's go ahead and kick off today's episode. So welcome to episode 25 of the STS guys. I am Jeremy.
Hey, it's Larry.
Hey, it's Nate.
And it's Scott.
And it looks like we got our order from last week.
Alphabetical order is hard.
That was my bad.
Yeah, Nate, you kind of fucked that up, man.
Sorry about
God
that.
damn it, Nate. No, it's fine.
It's okay. We still love you, Nate. All right. So, this week's a little interesting just because, like I said, we've all been on some different adventures, and it looks like Larry is leaving. Larry.
Bye, Larry.
Go to the bathroom, Larry.
See you, Larry.
So we've been on some adventures, kind of individually this week. So I just kind of want to talk about those, just because we haven't really had a chance to talk.
We've been in and out this whole time. It's been strange.
It's been interesting. So Nate, I'm gonna go ahead and kick it to you first, because my adventure honestly was supposed to be exciting, but it ended up not being. But so go ahead.
I'd say anything that we do pales in comparison to what Nate did. So.
Yeah. So Nate, what'd you do this week?
Yeah, I went to Tokyo actually last week, and man, was that an amazing trip. Got to see some really cool stuff, went to some shrines, went to some temples, went to Akihabara, which, if you don't know much about Akihabara, it is like action figure heaven. I mean, I can't even describe it well enough. There are stores upon stores upon stores, some of them like 6 floors high, just full of statues and action figures and all kinds of stuff. I mean, I was in heaven there, dude. And not only that, but the food, all the sights we got to see, it was just an amazing, amazing trip. I got
Larry's back.
2 figures.
Hey.
What's up, Larry? One of which we posted the unboxing already, that Make That Joker 2.0. Such a cool figure. Really looks a lot like Heath Ledger. And then I got a Wonder Woman sneak peek. We're going to be posting that unboxing as well. But overall, just a really great trip. I posted some of the story. Hope you guys paid attention. But yeah, it was awesome. Highly recommend it if you get a chance.
So you got the. So I was in Tokyo for work. I said last year, year and a half ago. I didn't get to do any of the cool stuff. So like I said, being able to kind of see some of the different things that you did, that was freaking awesome. Like just toys and like the things that they have there. Like I said, it's crazy. Dude, that Super Potato Store, dude, like
it blew me away. The Super Potato Store, I've actually, been a fan of IGN.com for a long time, and they always talk about Super Potato when they go to Japan. So I had to check it out. And it's like, all the classic Famicom, and they have like original stuff and original boxing and just all these classic games that I've never even seen before. And that's even 4 stories high. So it's just tons of stuff. Uh-oh. Larry had a crash.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Larry broke some stuff.
Sorry.
Hey, Brian, what's up, man?
Well, I can tell you this, Nate. I don't think I've ever seen that many Dreamcasts in one location as I did on the video that you had in that story. Like, that was an insane number of just Dreamcasts just like stacked on top of each other. It was...
Yeah, it surprised me too, man. It was insane. Really cool trip. Super happy I went. Very thankful to be able to do that. But, God, if you guys get a chance, go check it out. It is incredibly cool.
What was the coolest thing you saw?
Coolest thing I saw was probably, the Akihabara Radio Gaikon, because it's like 6 floors of just toys. And if you guys know me, I love my action figures. So I got to spend like hours upon hours just going through, looking at everything they had to offer. They have stuff that I've never even seen before, these crazy props. Just the people in general were extremely kind, very helpful. There are guys that went out of their way to help me. So, yeah, I mean, the whole experience was just unforgettable.
So, so my question to you, Nate, just based on in the information here, is how the hell did you get home with only buying 2 figures?
I actually bought 2 figures. I bought these gun racks from Tommy Tech. Dude, I was blown away when I saw the things. They had these set up in the store, and they're 1/12 scale gun racks. And
Dude, those
were those ones that you had on the stories that you saw?
Yeah, and I posted a couple. Yeah, I posted a couple of photos on my personal Instagram using them, and they came out fantastic. It was kind of like a model kit. You have to put it together. It took me probably like 30 minutes per kit, but those were really awesome. And then they have tons of 1/12 scale props, so I bought a lot of those. My girlfriend went crazy and bought a lot of stuff. So we definitely brought a lot of stuff home, but I tried to be as reserved as I could with all the action figures because, I had to bring it home somehow. So I couldn't only bring so much.
Right.
No, like I said, because I saw your shots that you did with the Punisher. Like I said, those gun racks with the Punisher shots. Like I said, dude, those are freaking sweet, man.
I'm so happy with how they came out. Yeah. I'm glad you like it.
So Nate, here's where we're gonna have to have you because I know we did this once, but you're gonna have to give a shout out to your Instagram channel so people can see the photography that you have on there. So see what you're talking about because what you do on there is pretty killer.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I get a lot of fun out of it. You guys should check it out. It's figurefan_Nate. So go look at my photos. I post all the time. I'm always doing toy news, so you can get some toy news there too.
I want to go ahead and put it in the chat so that way everyone knows. So that way they can see how it's exactly spelled.
Like so for like the gun racks and for those other props, have you seen that stuff online, or was that really like the first time you've seen that kind of stuff for sale?
Yeah, that's the first time I've seen those gun racks in person. They kind of blew me away when I saw it. Because that stuff you can get on a miyami.com website, and that's the store that I went to, the retail store within Tokyo. But I don't usually go to that store because you have to pay, different currency, and you have to pay to get it shipped from Japan.
Right.
But when I found them, it like totally opened my eyes to the whole brand and what else they offer.
Yeah, that's cool. So maybe like, I don't know, if you find the right site where shipping's not crazy, maybe they have some other stuff from that line that you can pick up too. That would be cool.
Yeah, miyami.com, even though you have to pay for international shipping, it's pretty reasonable. So if you guys like that stuff, go check it out there. They have all 3 racks available. Don't go to eBay because they're a lot more expensive there. Go to ami.com.
Good tips, Nate.
Yes,
thank you.
No, I kind of had an adventure in some toys too. Like I said, one of the things that I was supposed to be doing over the last couple of weeks was Las Vegas Toy Con. Or is that what it's called? Is that what it's officially called? Like, is it Las Vegas Toy Con, Larry? Like,
I think so. I think it used to be Las Vegas Super Toy Con, and then I know this year the official images they posted said either Las Vegas or Vegas Toy Con.
All right, so it literally was the weirdest convention I've ever been to in my entire life. I don't know, like it was. So first and foremost, I'm like, you think of like Las Vegas. Las Vegas is like the convention capital of the world. Like so, there's tons of meeting spaces and this, that, and the other. So you would think that like, hey, you know what, a convention in Vegas, a toy convention in Vegas would be like, grandiose and splendorous and stuff like that. That wasn't the case. I honestly didn't even record any video of it, just simply for the fact of it was the lamest convention I've ever been into in my entire life. If they ever watch this, like I said, I don't know. I don't want to bash a convention, but literally this was like the biggest piece of shit convention that I've ever been to in my entire life. So get this. So it was inside Circus. So I'm like, whatever. I'm like, I had some reservations regarding that anyways.
Yeah, like anything that happens in Circus is automatically questionable.
Yeah, so you're automatically going to come out with some weird things attached to you, if you're going to Circus. So Circus, like I said, it's still a big hotel. It's got some room inside. So you would think this convention was like in a convention hall, right? No. So basically, there was two levels. One, I had to. This was the most interesting part. So I go into the hotel because I'm staying at the Aria at this point in time. So I go into the hotel. And I take a lift down there, and I'm looking for signs or it's like something pointing me in the right direction of where this specific convention is. And so I'm looking. I'm like I don't need to say I don't need to ask someone where it's at. I'm like I can find it. I'm like it's Las Vegas Toy Con. It's supposed to be this huge event. I think it was like their 10th year too. I literally am like I looked and looked and looked. I couldn't find it. So I finally stopped someone and asked. I asked one of the employees of Circus. I'm like, okay, so where is this Las Vegas Toy Con? There's supposed to be a toy convention here. And so his response to me was, "You mean that lame ass thing upstairs?"
Oh no.
And so I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay, so let me follow the directions that he gave me. So I did. So the convention itself was set up super weird. So rather than being like in a separate room, like on the second floor, there was basically casino, like slot machines, like people playing slot machines, and then toy convention or tables.
So it was like on the floor or whatever.
I could literally throw I could throw something. I could reach over and play a slot machine and shop for toys at the same time.
That's so weird.
The weirdest thing ever. Well, that, and then like I said, I was kind of hoping that there would be something, like some cool merch there. So I sent, I posted a couple pictures on our Instagram of some of the different things that we've got. So like, for example, I posted hey, they had a lot of pops and some wobblers and things like that. So I put some of those pictures up. They had very, very, very few limited vintage toys. Nothing really high scale at all. So I honestly saw maybe one Mayfix figure there. There wasn't a single hot toy that I saw. So like I said, I was, at a toy convention, you think you'd see some the higher, the higher premium type stuff, a hot toy or even a Mezcos. So for example, so Nate, I said, you're super into Mezco. I actually even looked for, cause I know you've been looking for a nice Mezco cap. To kind of go with some different things. There was nothing. The only Mezco that I saw there was that Arsenal. And then I said, well, they wanted $120 for it. I'm like, I can go on eBay right now and
get that for way less
and buy it for $70. So
yeah, he's gone down in price. That's surprising. It's a toy con. You expected the big name brands to be there.
No, it's well that, and then and then I got a little bit excited too because I'm like, so when I printed off the tickets, so this is the one event it was kind of last minute that we kind of ended up being here. So we actually didn't apply for media passes or anything. So we actually bought tickets to this event. So when I printed off the ticket, it said Las Vegas Toy and Comic-Con. So I'm like, okay. I'm like,
maybe they have some comics.
They have some comics there. So I'm like, so hey, what I can redeem this trip by looking at some comics. There was 2 vendors there. Between those 2 vendors, they maybe had 6 long boxes in between them.
Wow. And
like I said, there was no wall books, no nothing. It was basically 50, here you can buy 10 books for 5 for 20 or 10 for 15 or whatever the stupid prices were.
Just the junk, right?
Yeah, just the junk. There was no wall some nice wall books. Something that I can put on my wall. So it's just really interesting. Yeah, Brian. Yeah, retro toys. They have very limited amounts. Because I was actually looking for something specific. I wanted a 10-back Donatello from the Playmates Ninja Turtles. I was actually willing to spend some decent money for it too, just because convention that we're going to in June, the end of June, Kevin Eastman will be there, and so I wanted to have him sign that just because I'm like I wanted one of the original 10-backs just because it kind of reminds me of me being a kid. But then to have Kevin Eastman sign it would be pretty cool. I'd actually put it with I said I have one second, guys.
What is it?
Yeah, what are you reaching for?
So last time I met Kevin Eastman, so I got this guy. This is actually a Mikey, basically from Kevin Eastman's personal collection.
Very cool.
Whoa.
So so I got that last time I met him. So I'm like, I wanted like one of the original like carded 10 backs. So tried to find that, didn't find that, couldn't find that anyplace. So right now I'm hounding eBay for him, and then eBay just announced they had a coupon today. So before you go to bed, I said if you want an eBay coupon, there's $15 off 75 right now. So go use it.
Yeah, I saw that coupon too. That's disappointing. Sorry to hear you didn't have a good time, man.
So
Wait.
Casual, just so you know here, there's one scent that you're missing in there, and that's the scent of shame. For anybody that uses it's in the ambiance of Circus whenever you walk in. It's palpable.
Larry, you're gonna say something.
Yeah, weren't there some artists from the Garbage Pail Kids cards going to be there too? Where were they hanging out?
Yeah. So there was this subsection of the convention, basically what they were calling GrossCon. So for those
It's a great name.
Oh, yeah. So for basically they had a ton of the original artists from like the original Garbage Pail Kids cards. So you would think that Garbage Pail cards, it looks like they're kind of surging a little bit more in popularity, but they still don't have like I said a super huge following. I said I know I like some Garbage Pail Kids. I know Larry. I know you do too. I know our Hunted Becomes a Hunter. I know he likes some. That's one of our subscribers. He likes some Garbage Pail Kids cards too. So I'm like, you know what? Let me at least stop by GrossCon inside basically the convention inside the convention, so that way I can maybe pick up a couple things, so that way we can give them out on the channel. They literally had these guys in. There's maybe 6 or 7 dudes in a room that's maybe no bigger, maybe a slightly bigger than the room I'm in right now. Maybe it was like a 10 by 15 room. And they had a couple tables set up, and they were charging like $50 something for a sketch, and then $25 for an autograph. It was ridiculous. So
damn,
that is a lot of money. Like sketch would have been, because Jeremy and I talked about this beforehand. Like a Garbage Pail Kid sketch, like of either of us or like some kid in that style wearing like an STS guys t-shirt, that would have been an awesome commission, but not for $75, man. That's just way too much.
Yeah. It was way too much for what they wanted. And like I said, and then that was for, like I said, literally a card size. Like I said, if it was like a full on, I
didn't even know that. That's even worse. I thought it was at least comic book size or whatever,
sketch card or whatever.
Not a sketch card.
It was makes it even worse.
No.
Like well, Larry, like I said, we went to a convention last year. You know, I don't have a problem spending some. Like I said, if I like a piece of art or if I want to sketch, I'll lay some cash out for it.
Yeah.
But like I said, for $75, like I said, for something like I said, the size of a normal like card,
3.5 by 2.5 or something like that. No, it's TV.
Yeah. And Garbage Pail Kids is cool, but it's not that cool that you're going to spend that much money on a little tiny card of art.
No, maybe if it was your absolutely favorite thing and you're totally into Garbage Pail Kids, then it would have been worth it. But like Jeremy said, I have some, but they're the ones I've had since the mid '80s, since I was a kid. I haven't looked at them in forever. Like they're cool, but I'm not really into it.
Yeah, no, there's no way I'd spend that much on something that's kind of just a resurging fad. Like they're cool, but not enough for that. Like I couldn't justify even half that cost. Would be hard to justify at that size.
So the closest thing I could think of that I might be willing to throw down some money for something small at Emerald City Comic Con this weekend. I think this is the second or third year they've done it. Funko had a bunch of their designers and artists like doing sketches at their booth, but I'm pretty sure those were free. Like I might be tempted, but I don't think I'd throw down $75 for something super small.
Yeah. No, here's a question I have for you, Jeremy.
Yeah,
is because we had looked up this before, and there was some celebrity guests that were there too. Did they just shove them on the casino floor? Or did they have their own little tiny cramped room?
So all the celebrity guests, they were on the second floor. Were they on the second floor or the first floor? I think they were on the second floor.
Celebrity.
Yeah. So they were on the second floor, and then they had, like those like curtain panels like that are like the backdrops of like, like the traditional artist alley, like, at the majority of the conventions.
Yeah.
So that was basically what they were using to kind of like segregate the casino from the convention. And so they had a section, they jettisoned a section out of that, basically where they had like the celebrity guests like Linda Blair, Noel G from Fast and the Furious. I'm trying to even think who else was there.
The voice of SpongeBob.
Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah, Tom Kenny.
Yeah, Tom Kenny for the voice of SpongeBob.
Brother Love, WWE superstar, Brother Love.
Booker T.
Yeah, Booker T was there, right? And his wife.
Booker T was there, yeah. So, I literally didn't even stick around that long to see kind of if the sketches were $75. I said there wasn't anything at the con. I didn't even want to know what the autograph prices were.
Yeah, based on what you told me, I don't blame you.
Tom Kenny was on the website. I think he was like $60.
Yeah, and then I think Jeremy Bullock. Yeah, Jeremy Bullock.
Yeah, Jeremy Bullock. Boba Fett.
Boba Fett was there too.
I
think that was
all the Boba Fetts were there. First off, let's just put it that way.
Kid Boba Fett, Daniel Logan.
Yep,
Daniel Logan,
and then the original guy.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say, like I said, if you're looking for something, I'm like, it wouldn't be a con that I would necessarily go out of my way to. Like I said, the tickets, like I said, alone were like $15. Like I said, it's worth it. It's almost like I paid to get in a garage sale. So I'm like, if you're looking for something specific, it may be worth it for the $15 to look for something. But even then, like I said, they didn't really have that much of an expansive, selection of like toys and things like that. So basically, even that's a gamble at $15. So,
dude,
like
I forgot Ninya was there.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, from Star Wars.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know his name.
If anything, Jeremy, it was an educational experience, and I'm sure none of us will ever go to ToyCon in Vegas now.
Dude, but you got your Mr. Bean Funko Pop Chase, the one where he's got the turkey on his head.
Yeah, so I
got it.
That is true.
You did buy something. Yep.
Did buy something. So so as soon as they announced that Funko Pop figure, I said you can actually see it right there. And so as soon as they announced those Mr. Bean Pops, I'm like, I knew I had to have them. But then they announced the one where he had the turkey on its head. I'm like, okay, you know what? Wasn't a bad, terrible price. I'm like, oh, you know what? It's basically I'm gonna save a couple dollars over eBay. So let me just go ahead and pick it up here. And so I did make the purchase of the Mr. Bean Chase Funko Pop. So it was my lone purchase at ToyCon.
I think that's a very cool pop. Big fan of Mr. Bean.
And considering the circumstances, I understand why, but leaving a ToyCon with just one purchase is not that bad. Like, show some restraint.
Well, I had a couple different things that I wanted to do while I was there. So there's this world famous comic shop. So they recently kind of opened maybe like about a year ago. Like I said, you may have heard of them, Torpedo Comics. So they have this like room in the back. Basically, this room is all the high-end super grill books of basically there's like the anything that you want that's like the super grill. So they have it basically slabbed CGC in the back, and like I said, it's basically hanging in this room. You have to basically they have this safe door that opens up, and like I said, it's actually a giant safe that you walk into in order to get to these comics. So I was originally intending to go there as well. But then, so I got back from ToyCon, I went back to my hotel room. I had to switch out to a different hotel real quick. And by the time all that was said and done, it was like maybe like 5:45. So then I called down there just to basically get their streets that way, because it wasn't popping up on my Lyft app.
They're not like right off the strip. Like they're a decent distance away.
Yeah, they're a little further off the strip. So I called them up, and then like, oh yeah, we close in like 10 minutes though. I'm like, oh, okay, so I guess that's not happening today.
That's the worst.
So it was my last day that was there, so I'm like, I didn't get to go. Plus, like I said, I had been in contact with them before, and the thing that I was after, they wouldn't come down on the price. Like I said, with the price I wanted to pay. So I will continue to be in search of that. I'm not going to tell you guys what that is, because I eventually want to share that on the podcast. Larry, I know Scott and Larry. I think you know what it is.
I know what it is. But
So
it's definitely
it's-
something. If you get it, it has to be like an unboxing or like a reveal or something like that.
No, like I said, it's going to be an unboxing video or something.
Yeah,
Or maybe
just a haul, right?
or a haul video,
Torpedo Comics haul.
or I do it live on the podcast. Like I said, it's something
would be cool.
that's definitely worth sharing in a live environment rather than just talking to you about how I failed to get it now.
Right.
So,
Because of
Be
what
awesome.
it is, I would agree.
Hey,
Brendan-
casual. Sorry, go ahead, Larry.
no, I was going to say the same thing. Go for it, Nate.
Casual Unboxings. He found it for $32 on Amazon. Wants to know if it's worth it. What do you think, Jeremy? For that Mr. Bean.
like I said, if you like Mr. Bean, I think it's worth it. Like I said, it's one of those things where it's you're limited scope to like I said, if you like the character or not. So like $32, that's for a chase. I paid, I think that's exactly what I paid. Right around there. It's like 32 or 27. I don't remember exactly what it was. But it was right around there. And like I said, that came with a soft prop protector. So no, $30. Like I said, that's I think that's worth it. I think on Pop Price Guide, I think it's what, 34. So
Yeah, if you wait a little while, like you can probably get it cheaper, but that is how much they're going for. Because I am also in the market for a Mr. Bean Funko Pop chase. So I was looking this past week, and they're in that 32 to 35 range. So like it's a fair price for right now. But if you wait, you can probably get it for 25. There's a chance that it might drop around 20. But yeah, that, like I said, you're gonna have to wait a couple months. So if you want it today, go get it, man.
yeah, well, Larry, that brings up a good question. I was going to actually ask you that. Like I said. And the only reason I even bought it at ToyCon is I haven't even seen the common ones like here.
Not in the store, no, me neither.
Yeah, I haven't seen them at all, and I've been looking.
No.
So that made me think that I'm like that might be one of those that just kind of hovers around that $30 price range. It's not going to be like that Star-Lord where like I said they made like a billion Star-Lords, and like I said you can get that chase almost like a couple dollars cheaper than what the standard version was.
Yeah, like it's not going to be a super wide release like the Guardians of the Galaxy set where every store who has Pops gets it. Yeah, like you said, and we went to Hot Topic this week. They didn't have it.
Yeah.
I think I went to GameStop too. I haven't seen it there. Like I don't know. So it might be kind of hard to get. It's a good point. Like I'm not willing to throw in $30 for it right now. I spent enough money on Pops this week, so I'm not committed quite yet. But I'm keeping my eye on it for sure.
So Larry, that brings up a good point. What did we buy this week, or what'd you buy? And then I think I have a couple of those common buys as well.
All right, so let's count. Right. So what day was it? Thursday? No, Wednesday. Wednesday morning. Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash dropped the 4 exclusive Comic Book Men Pops signed. Right. So we got Ming Chen, Mike Zapsik, Walt Flanagan, and Brian Johnson. Right. The 4 guys from Comic Book Men. They have a new pop, and these ones all came signed. That website crashed. It was awful, but Jeremy and I both lucked out, and we pulled it off. Got our orders in, even though it was a little bit slow. So totally stoked about that. Right. So there's 4 pops I got coming. Did that. What else did we buy? Oh yeah. Thursday was Emerald City Comic Con. So the shared exclusives for ECCCCCCCC, whatever, came out on Thursday morning. So Jeremy, me and Scott headed over to the Hot Topic on our lunch break, grabbed that 2-pack from Parks and Recreation, right? Tom Haverford and John Ralphio, Entertainment 720. So got that from my Parks and Rec collection, got to stay complete. And then went back to work. Couple minutes, like 2 minutes after we got back, Funko dropped all their shared exclusive on their funkoshop.com. We were Jeremy and I were both like keeping our eyes on that Emerald Chrome Batman. That didn't work out so hot, but I was able to grab the baseball Freddy Funko, the alternate uniform that is out there. So that was their exclusive, limited to 3,000. So I got that. All those sold out super, super fast. So what's that? 4 pops plus 2 Parks and Rec plus Freddy. We're up to 7 pops. I feel like I'm missing something. Oh yeah, yesterday on eBay, I bought another of the baseball Freddy Funkos. I got the Funko HQ one for what I feel was a fairly good price. So I bought 8 pops in the last like 4 days. That's a lot for me. I've been cutting back.
Yeah,
Sound like some pretty epic pops though.
Yeah.
I'm stoked, man.
But I'm sure your wife is real happy with you.
She does not know
Yet.
Yes.
Yeah. Yet. But,
right, those comic book men ones aren't shipping for like a couple weeks. Like they're all not going to hit on the same day.
Yeah.
That's the key. They all kind of drop at different dates, so you can kind of hide a little bit. I didn't buy all this at once. It was just gradual.
It was gradual, yeah. Now, Jeremy, I have to say something. Your slip of the tongue earlier made me think of probably the greatest movie that we should make is The Adventures of Star-Lord, the guy that everyone thinks is Star-Lord but is not.
That's one too many of these.
Yeah, it's a Life of Brian situation, but with Star-Lord instead.
Guys, or mostly Jeremy, did you know that Brian has the blue chrome Batman?
Yeah, well, I actually do know he has the blue.
I didn't know that.
He actually won that from Funko.
Oh, sweet!
So,
even better.
Yeah, so it was that on Twitter, Brian, or on Facebook? I know you won it on one of those two places.
Very cool.
Yeah, I'm like, because like I said, it was totally cool when he got it. I definitely want that Chrome Batman. I just don't know if I can bring myself to spend the cash that's going to be
pay the exorbitant prices.
Yeah, so I'm waiting for him. Oh yeah, so yeah, it's on Twitter. Yeah, I know he won it. So yeah, that thing was awesome.
That's really cool.
No, so I tried for the green. I said if I could pay retail for it, I would have gotten it, but unfortunately, it didn't work out. It
was in our carts.
Yeah, it was. Me and Larry had it
in our carts and stolen right out of the carts as we were checking out.
Yeah. Oh, that feels horrible.
We're both like, ah.
So you guys have the black chrome Batman though, right?
Yes.
Yeah, from New York City Comic Con. That was shared with Barnes and Noble. The blue one wasn't shared. This green one wasn't really shared, and yeah, we have the easiest one to get.
Okay.
So the funny thing was too. So this is the first convention that we've had in the last couple of years that I literally bought nothing from. I said Larry basically took the place of me of this one
the last one. Yeah.
The last one. Yeah. So basically where I was like buying everything and Larry like held back. But unfortunately, like I said, yeah, Larry, like I said, he bought tons of stuff this time, and like I said, and I did not. I said the only thing I have, I said I did buy those comic book men pops on Wednesday just because like I said I wanted them originally when they first came out at Funko HQ. But then like I said, once they released the limited edition 1,000 of them, so I'm like, okay, for $100, it's easy. I can do that.
Yeah, the HQ ones from like August, they still go for over 100 each. So yeah. I mean, that's you can't just get one. You got to get the whole set. So it's getting pretty pricey pretty fast. So I'm really glad they did these ones with the different shirts. They're pretty cool shirts too, right? Like, is it Mike that has the Shared Universe podcast studio thing? And don't Walt and Brian have like Tell 'em Steve Dave shirts or something like that?
Yeah, so they both have Tell 'em Steve Dave shirts. Mike has the podcast studio that they started, like Shared Universe podcast studio, and then Ming has his I Sell Comics podcast. On.
It's pretty cool.
You guys made a post about that, right, on Instagram, or released in our story. I think I checked it out after you guys posted that. It looks like a really cool set.
Yeah.
No. I'm excited for it. Like I said, it's just I'm like for $100, and then they come signed. Like I said, that's just a bonus. These will actually be my very first signed pops.
What?
I don't have anything.
Awesome.
You're popping that cherry.
I have one. Does anyone know what it is? I don't think you do. Nate might. I have one. Corey Feldman from Goonies.
That's right.
Is that when you did you go to the premiere where it was like Timmy Markle's?
Yeah, at the movie theater. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I saw Corey Feldman, and I had to pick up a Goonies pop for it.
That's awesome. No, right now, like I said, in terms of pops that I'm in the hunt for, like I was telling Larry this earlier. There's like this chrome metallic chrome metallic turtle set that I'm kind of looking after.
It's not new or anything, right? It's like from 2013.
It's like 2013. I said I'm right on the edge. I literally think I actually might buy it here in 3 days once I have one of my other eBay purchases. One of my eBay things that I have listed to sell. Because that's it'll pay for majority of it.
If you're looking for turtle stuff, Jeremy, you should check out Collectors Marketplace. They have a lot of retro turtle stuff, so you might be able to find something there.
Awesome. Thanks for the tip, Nate.
Absolutely.
Just a tip.
We still gotta do our Saturday morning trip to Collector's Marketplace all together. That would be cool.
Yeah,
We
all need to go at one time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Brian Rainey said, "What? What do you mean there, Brian? You're surprised by something?"
I think he's talking. I think Brian's talking about how the Batman was in our carts and then it disappeared.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah.
So
we got to get to Scott's week, but Casual does have he wants to know what we think about the Cloverfield paradox.
It kind of reminded me of Event Horizon. I don't know.
That is true. Yeah.
I agree with you, Casual. Only Event Horizon's 100 times better.
Oh yeah, no. This is like a bad like homage to it. I sit there right there. 6 out of 10 is a pretty good rating for it. Like I was entertained throughout it, but not I was not as enthralled as I thought I was going to be coming out of it.
Yeah, and I think it's weird that they connected to the Cloverfield paradox. Like, why don't they just name it something else? Because it had very small connections to the other movies. It was almost like they were just trying to cash grab on the name or something, you know?
You know, Event Horizon 10 out of 10. Oh, dude, that movie is so underrated for what it is. Like, there's so many people that I know that still haven't seen that movie. Like I said, whenever we were talking about like sci-fi horror, like, oh, you know, I like aliens or I like this or like that. I'm like, no, you got to see Event Horizon. Event Horizon is like the best, probably sci-fi horror movie that I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, totally agree. I remember when I first saw that, it gave me nightmares. It was like freaky movie, but really good.
All right, Scott, what'd you do this week?
So I really didn't do anything this week, to be honest. In terms of things, I went with you guys to go buy Pops,
and got Chick-fil-A.
I did get Chick-fil-A afterwards, which is as our tradition there. But so there is something that I thought that we should talk about. Jeremy and I had a conversation, and Casual Unboxing, your comment actually leads us a little bit closer to that here. So we started talking about kind of how all of our scales on movie ratings were not the same. So my 3.5 and Jeremy's 3.5 or his 3 are like vastly different in terms of quality.
Okay, can we back up just a tad? Can you explain the differences that we had? I want to get their opinion.
So their opinion. So I'll say Jeremy's, because Jeremy's is kind of straightforward. Jeremy looks at it in terms of basically straight correlation to like a score. Like if you're looking at 3 out of 5. Yeah, Jeremy's like, oh, it's like a 75%. Like it's exactly what it needs to be. Like that's the score, right? Whereas I was saying, like, no, like if I give a movie, for me, it's like starts around a 3. If it's a good, decent, like a movie that I enjoyed, that's a 3. And then as quality goes up. So I said I wouldn't give there's no movie at a 0. Like I was like, all right, well, maybe they start at 50 and kind of go up from there. And then, so, a 3 for me is closer to a B range, like an 80%. And then we started getting into an argument about how it is, to the point where we had to create an official STS guys rating system.
It was bad.
It was bad. It was a good waste. It was a good waste of a half an hour. Let's just put it that way.
So sad I missed out on that.
Did you say
you have it in your email when you get into work?
Did you say 3 is an 80%?
Yeah, I kind of put, yeah. So I understand that I'm the only one in that range. Like I'm alone on my pedestal here.
That's not how math works, right? 3 divided by 5 is 60%.
Well, I guess when I look at it, I use the stars, right? A 3 out of 5 stars is not necessarily like, yeah, I don't know, whatever. I was wrong. I admitted it, fuckers. Good God. Yeah. Wait, and again, Casual, you're reading my mind here. What I wanted for all of us to kind of go through and do is actually, so we can create a baseline here. We need to know what the 0-star movie is and the 5-star movie for everybody.
Oof, there's so many 0 stars to pick from.
I got one, but I don't know what it's called. Hold on. got
luckily, we have Google in front of us. Yeah.
Not Google.
All right.
So I'll start with mine.
Go for it.
So this the Jeremy, I think, is probably one of the only ones that's actually seen this movie that's on the list. The 0-star movie that I have is the original, unreleased because it was so bad. Marvel bought all of them. Fantastic Four movie from like the early, like 1992.
Foreman, Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that is my 0-star movie. Like, that is probably the worst thing I've ever seen. It doesn't make sense. They don't, like, their powers are just thing, and that weird little butthole looking thing that they have in there is just ridiculous. Like, everything about that movie is awful. That is my 0-star movie.
That's a good choice.
Yeah,
that's a good 0-star.
That's a good choice. What about the top
star?
Top star.
So this one I'm torn between two movies. Luckily, I'm just going to give them at the same time because they actually relate to each other. It's Godfather 1 and Godfather 2. Those are probably my top 5, like my top like 5-star movie. Love The Godfather.
Good choice. Solid choice. 0-star. So Jeremy, what's your 0 and your 5?
My 0. So let me look up my 0.
While you go there, say hello to Denny, hello to Scenes, and hello Donnie Pacina.
Donnie.
Guys.
So for casual, Ninth Gate 0 Johnny Depp. Yeah, that's a
good choice.
That's a 0 like half-star movie for sure. So yeah, that is just god awful. Like that's a movie that makes you angry when you watch it. Like, there's very few movies that actually makes you physically like mad at the TV. That movie is one of them.
Yeah, well said.
All right, so I don't know if it, like I said, here. So there's, have you? I don't know.
Use your words.
I don't want to offend people. So there's this. So everyone know who Kirk Cameron is?
Everyone knows Kirk Cameron. Yeah, dude.
That guy?
Dude, come on.
Jeez.
So Kirk Cameron basically he directed and produced this Christmas movie. I'm trying to.
I know which one you're talking about.
I'm trying to find it. Saving Christmas.
That's the one.
That movie was the biggest pile of dog shit that I've ever seen in my entire life. That movie was terrible. I couldn't, like I said, I couldn't watch it. I said it's one of those like you're flipping through like Hallmark Channel, like I said, during the holidays, and you're like, I'm drinking, so anything must be better than nothing. Any TV is better than no TV.
No, anything Hallmark.
Well, and it was terrible.
Oh,
so bad.
So what I'm gonna do? So in the episode show notes, what I'm gonna do is, like I said, once we start listing everything off, I'll actually put the links to the trailers to basically all these movies in the comments. So that way you guys.
Jeremy, with mine, you can link the whole movie.
Yes, because like I said, the entire movie is on
YouTube.
Honestly, my favorite. Like I said, I have different genres of favorite, so I'm gonna surprise a lot of people here. I'm actually not gonna choose something superhero, just because, like I said, they're good in a different sense of the word of being good. I honestly like Braveheart. Like I said, I honestly think it's, in terms of being a movie that's well done. I think it's like I said, Casual Unboxing also has another one of my ones that's probably tied with that, Shawshank Redemption. Andy Dufresne.
That is a 5-star movie. My friend Andy Dufresne.
I love my friend Andy Dufresne.
Yeah, both those movies are amazing.
Yeah, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Like I said,
yeah, another good one.
Snatch.
Lock, Stock was Guy Ritchie before people really liked Guy Ritchie, and he had the weird things going on. Like, I love Lock, Stock.
Mm-hmm. Great movie.
You could fall in love with an orangutan in there. Like, I love that movie.
So I'm going to do mine, if you guys don't mind.
I do mine.
I want to get it off my chest. The 0-star for me one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life is Battlefield Earth.
I was waiting for one of us to show up. The Scientology movie.
Oh my god. It was so bad. I've never seen a movie that lost my interest within 5 minutes.
Oh my god. Okay. So I didn't, you guys don't know this. So speaking of Scientology, Chris, Scott.
Who is Chris?
I don't, I don't know. I just.
Oh God.
Wow. Sorry.
Come on, Tom.
Yeah.
Lay off those beers there, Jeremy.
Yeah.
I can't. No. So I don't know how it happened. But I got a Scientology magazine in my mailbox yesterday.
Nice.
You gotta go. Your thetans are getting too high. You're on their radar now.
I am on their radar. So I'm like, well, I see this piece of mail. I'm like, it's addressed. I'm like, I gotta open it. So they don't have their magazine come just like a magazine that has like the label on the back. They actually put their magazine in an envelope so no one can read it besides the person it's addressed to.
You have to open it.
It's a magazine. Like it's meant to be read, so you're gonna hide it.
It slows you down on throwing it in the trash though too, right? You gotta open it and be like, oh, what is this? And like,
I was opening that shit regardless. Yeah. I have to see what's in here. So I will bring that for you guys to work. So because I think you will get some good entertainment.
I was love to read that.
Chris will enjoy it.
Yeah,
Chris.
Yeah, exactly.
Chris will really like it.
Yeah.
What's wrong with me tonight? Starlight, Chris, Tina.
And here's the sad thing is, originally I actually don't understand which one of us you actually mistakenly called Chris. That's the saddest thing.
I have a feeling it was me, but I don't know.
Honestly, if I'm honest with myself, I think it was Scott. I don't know why I was calling him Chris.
I thought maybe he was talking to me because he knows I'd get a kick out of that magazine, but I was like, I really don't know who of us is Chris.
You are now Chris, Scott.
No, I'm good.
So for my 5-star, this is hard for me to pick. It's 2 80s classics, some of my favorite movies. No, not Deep Blue Sea. They're making a sequel for that, actually, Scott. You'll be excited.
Oh, I'm very excited. Can we have Samuel L. Jackson's twin show up so we can see him get eaten again?
So it's either, I'm going to say RoboCop or Back to the Future are my 2 favorite 5 stars. Those are some of my most favorite movies. I'll drop everything and watch them. RoboCop, which is a cult classic for me, and Back to the Future, just the whole time travel thing I think is amazing. But yeah.
So what you may not know is that movie has a very special place in Jeremy and I's hearts. Because of Back to the Future.
Nice.
Because of its relevance to us. It goes back to our birthday.
Nice. Yeah, that movie came out in 85, which was my birthday. I was born in 85 at least.
But no,
we had a dog.
When they travel back in time, he travels to November 5th, which is Jeremy and I's birthday.
Oh, that's right.
The time machine.
That's awesome. I didn't even think.
We have two interesting facts about our birthdays. Is that and the whole Guy Fawkes gunpowder thing happened on the 5th of November.
Remember the 5th of November.
Yeah, Back to the Future. I remember seeing that when I was a kid and just being blown away. I immediately started it over. Oh, so we got a couple of questions. Donnie Pacina is asking if we like Mortal Kombat.
Game or the movie?
Yeah. So
in the movie.
Nobody likes the movie.
First off, Christopher Lambert, the Highlander, was Raiden. All right, or Raiden. So
great point. I did not like Mortal Kombat.
Okay. Another 0-star movie to bring up is the sequel, Mortal Kombat 2.
Ooh, yeah.
That movie was literally a shit show.
Did you see isn't there like a Chun-Li one too? Did you guys ever see that one? That one's pretty bad.
Where it's not actually Chun-Li, like where it's like where there's like spies and it's not.
It has nothing to do with Mortal Kombat other than like a character's name.
Well, it has nothing to do with Mortal Kombat because Chun-Li is from Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was waiting for somebody to say that. I'm like, oh wait,
Yeah, you're right.
they did make a Street Fighter movie.
With Mortal Kombat.
yeah. Yeah. All right. Whatever. Yeah.
And that's I forgot, dude. That movie, the
Scott.
Uh-oh.
Chris?
We lost you.
We lost Chris.
Chris froze. Look at he's frozen in time.
He is.
Chris, bye, Chris.
He went back to 1955.
So it looks like Casual and the scenes have agreed with me. Back to the Future is great. Thank you. Totally agree on Dumb and Dumber 2. Horrible movie. That could be a 0 star because you're expecting it to be like Dumb and Dumber 1, and it was not.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Scott.
No, he's frozen. I'm guessing he's figured out that he's frozen by now, but it's okay.
No, kind of going back to Mortal Kombat though. There was this online movie, these online like movie clips that they did, like this. Basically, they did like an online version of the movie. Like Michael J. White was in it. Jerry Ryan was Sonya Blade. It was actually really well done. Where everyone thought it was actually going to be a trailer for a new Mortal Kombat movie, but it turned out to be where basically they just released it to YouTube and that's it. It was called Mortal Kombat Rebirth. It's a web series where they basically release these little like 7 to 10 minute episodes of Mortal Kombat. So
that's one of those movies that I think should do. I mean, if they're going to do a reboot, that's a good one to pick because the first ones were so bad.
No, it's I think that's due for a reboot. Like I said, if they could do it right.
Yeah, totally agree.
I wonder where Scott's completely gone now.
So who's 0 and 5 do we now get? Larry's?
Larry, you're on deck.
All right, so zeros. I got the most time to think about it, so I've got a couple honorable mentions, and then we'll hit my number 1 0. My favorite all time is that Mortal Kombat movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Again.
Bad joke.
I mean, Street Fighter jokes.
Yeah. So it's that Street Fighter movie is really bad.
I got it.
That's probably a 0. And there's another snowboarding movie that came out in 2002 called Extreme Ops. For some reason, I own it on DVD, and it is awful. So those are
awful.
It's a snowboarding movie, but like, yeah, it's not even worth talking about.
Is it like a story, or is it like
No, it's a story. It's not like guys doing tricks or anything. It was a story.
Like spy snowboarders.
Yeah, like spy snowboarders. I don't even really remember. I just remember it was really bad. But my number 1 0 is the 2002 classic Time Machine. I don't know if anybody saw it. I had to look it up.
I have seen. Who is it?
I have seen that.
No-name actor, right?
Guy Pearce and Samantha Mumba were the stars. It's loosely based on H.G. Wells' Time Machine, but it was a mess.
It was bad. I agree. I love time travel movies, and that one just was bad.
I went with I have never walked out of a movie. That is the closest I've come. And I was with my friends at the time, so like they stuck it out. So I was there till the end, but man, that was a bad movie.
Yeah, totally agree. That was bad.
Honestly, right. Well, okay, just real quick side tangent. In terms of time travel movies, what's that one called, Larry? The one with Paul Walker in it. Because I actually, like I said, I went in that movie thinking it was going to be awful, but I actually had fun at that movie.
I don't know. Who can Google it fastest? Google.
Paul Walker time travel.
Paul Walker time travel.
Looks like Larry's going to do it.
I got it. Timeline.
Yeah. Did you see that?
No, I've never seen that.
You've never seen Timeline?
I've seen Timeline before.
Timeline from 2003. Nope.
There was a lot of time travel movies in like the early 2000s.
Apparently.
Yeah, because there was like Clock Stoppers or not, that was a little bit earlier. But there was a ton of different time travel movies. I went into that like I said, how I don't even remember how I ended up at the theater with that one. But I'm like, man, this movie's gonna be terrible.
Yeah.
It's got Gerard Butler in it, and it's got
Yeah.
Paul Walker. I'm like, okay, it's got some decent people. But it turned out to actually be a pretty good movie.
So the scenes just created. He listed 2 really good ones. Double Dragon, horrible. But Super Mario Brothers, I think, is definitely a 0 because you're expecting it to be Super Mario, and it turns out like this totally weird, different movie. It didn't make any sense. It was really, really bad acting. Yeah.
All right. So one movie that I said that I didn't mention that it's like a terrible movie, just because like I said I had a renewed interest in it just because it's been made into a legitimate movie. Is The Room, and James Franco did the Disaster Artist, kind of based upon Tommy Wiseau creating The Room. Like I said, I know Larry, you tried to watch it.
I did. Yeah, you know what? Maybe that's the worst movie.
Nate,
I couldn't even watch it.
I haven't seen that.
All right. It's basically it's if you go into it knowing that it's like a completely shitty movie, it's the most hilarious. It's a comedy. It's the most hilarious movie ever.
It makes me really want to see it.
I think we need to do a screening of The Room, just so that way you can so I can see your face experience this movie. It's literally a biggest pile of steaming dog shit that there is, but it's amazingly funny. So the director, Tommy Wiseau, basically is the main actor in the movie, but he can't act at all. And like so, there's all these random scenes of him basically tossing around footballs, and I don't know, it's hilarious. We gotta watch it. Casual unboxing the scenes. Or anybody in the chat? Have any of you guys seen The Room? I'm just curious to see if anybody's seen it, or if anybody's seen the Disaster Artist, the movie that's based off it.
Speaking of honorable mentions, I guess for one of my 0s, Jurassic Park: The Lost World.
Ooh,
no,
yeah.
wait, not the. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Lost World. The second one.
The second one. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, good choice.
Because it was so much different from the original and so much worse.
It was horrible. Yeah, that's definitely one of my worst too. I've never even seen the whole thing because I couldn't finish it. Yeah, it's bad.
So bad. He goes to what, New York or LA? What the T-Rex is unleashed on people?
Yeah, I don't even remember, man. It was pretty bad. I feel like there's more bad movies.
There are a ton of bad movies. Like I said, but like I said, it just makes you appreciate the good ones that much more.
Yeah. So Casual asked if we've seen Take Shelter. Good movie, low budget, but awesome. If you haven't seen it, you need to watch it. The acting is superb. I will check that out. Thank you for the mention. And then he also agreed that Disaster Artist sucked, and Lost World was horrible.
Yeah.
So thank you.
So Disaster. So you guys talk about Disaster. Have you seen the actual, like the original, the actual The Room? Just because like I said, if you think the Disaster Artist sucks, watch the movie that it's actually based on. It's so bad. It's amazing. Like
I made it like 10 minutes in, and I just tapped out. I couldn't do it anymore. The Room was not for me.
10 minutes. Oh man,
like, there are better things I can do with my life than watch that for an hour and a half or whatever it was. That's where I was at. Like I felt myself getting dumber by the second by watching that thing.
You need to just have it on in the background sometime, and just so that way you could say that, you know what, I've actually gotten through it. It's one of those things where like, you have to get through it. Just because, like I said, there's just some iconic scenes in there. Of the, like I said, I'm gonna spoiler alert for those who haven't seen The Room. Honestly, it's one of my favorite scenes in there is basically this. It's supposed to be super serious, and like I said, there's like this elderly lady. I forgot what her character's name is, and she's talking with like her daughter or friend or something like that. And she's like, out of nowhere, she's like, "Well, I got the test results back. It's cancer." Says it like that. I don't know. There's a ton of different things that are in there that are like that. and some bad CG, and it's great. It's great.
Let's see. Somebody in the chat says the room is so bad, it's good. Oh wait, it's Scott from the STS guy.
It's Scott. Wow, we have him in spirit. He's in our chat.
He texted us, and his internet died, so he's working on trying to come back. But for now, he is alive in the chat.
Oh, chat.
I would really rather see his face, but you know,
Me too. He's even wearing a polo today. He's semi-casual STS guy.
He looks so great.
AKA Chris is now chat moderator. Casual Black Tusk, another horror movie. It's like Human Centipede but with the animals. So funny thing about Tusk, like I am, like I said, as Larry and Nate and Scott know, I am probably one of the world's biggest Kevin Smith fans. I freaking love Kevin Smith. I have so much Kevin Smith merch. It's ridiculous. Even I am on the Tusk is a horrible movie train. Even though it's directed and made from like I said, one of my idols. So I just freaking love the guy.
Scott. Sorry, I have interrupted you, but Scott has returned. AKA Chris, and he looks beautiful.
Yeah. By the way, don't talk shit about the polo, man. Just because I fancy as fuck, yo. I could hear you the whole damn time, fuckers.
Dude, you look beautiful though.
But so. Dumb thing is, apparently if you get dropped from a chat, it is not easy to get yourself back in. And it like, when you click join, it just sits there and just, I was literally waiting for that entire time I was gone just for the Hangouts to let me back into the damn session.
That's dumb.
So
you missed you're back.
Draw back to Hangouts if you get booted. Yeah.
I can do my top 5 or my number 1 best 5 or whatever.
Do your 0 movie and your top 5 or your 5-star.
I did my 0. My 5 though.
What's your 5?
My 5. Like I thought about going like super like film school ish and do like Citizen Kane or Casablanca. Like I literally brought up the AFI top movie list. I'm like, how semi-intelligent do I want to see?
Gone with the Wind.
Yes, Gone with the Wind. Great movie. Psycho. Like all those I've seen. I think I've seen everything I named. They're all good movies. But I saw one on there that I'm like, this is for me. It's on the top list. I'm gonna go a little fanboy and say Star Wars: A New Hope. Perfect movie.
Great movie.
Right? Critically acclaimed, and still you can fanboy out over it. Like it's the perfect world. Thank you, George Lucas.
Definitely one of the top of the franchise for sure.
Yeah. Well, it's the movie that brought like sci-fi to like the masses. Like it was such a small genre until that. So it's an iconic movie.
The coolest thing about New Hope for me when I was watching when I was a kid is that Luke starts out to be this average guy and he turns out into this Jedi master. You know, so it made you think like anybody could be a Jedi master if you just, put your mind to it.
At the beginning of the movie, he was just a farm boy. End of the movie, he's saving the galaxy.
Well, yeah. So this is going to be really dumb, but if you ever get a chance, look up a thing called The Hero's Journey. It's like a storytelling, like how to tell the story of a hero. And Luke, it's like that entire process in space. It's the perfect like hero, like origin, like tale.
Sorry, but Jeremy's having way too much fun with this Infinity Gauntlet. Seriously, the power is with him right now.
Yeah,
I found the Power Stone.
You're like bull.
Sorry guys.
Oh, super excited.
So that's what I got. Like I could have went all like if we were talking about like favorite movies that I would rank at 5. I mean, you guys don't want me to put like Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift on the top of the list. So I figured Star Wars kind of fits my broad scope.
Let's back up for a second though. Back up for a second. Is Tokyo Drift in your top 5? Like,
yeah, I know you're a big fan of it. Yeah.
Like top 5 all-time favorite movies. It's probably just outside. I put the first and second Fast and the Furious like on a tie somewhere in my top like 2 or 3. But Tokyo Drift's probably just outside my top 5.
So in the Tokyo Drift scale,
so
bad. Is it better than Black Panther or worse than Black Panther?
I would rather watch Tokyo Drift than Black Panther.
Oh man!
But that's
That's not no
not saying it's better.
No,
I just love Tokyo Drift that much.
Right. Considering Larry put it close to his top 5 of movies all time, it's not a bad thing to say it's better than Black Panther.
So okay, well, Larry brings up a good point. So we've named our worst, we named our best. What's a movie that you're embarrassed to say that you like, but you love that movie?
Ooh, embarrassed to say I like it, but I love it.
Jeremy, we already talked about this one. We had brought this one up. Mine is Kung Pao Enter the Fist. The movie that was they bought the rights to an old movie, put a new main character in, and redubbed.
Great selection. I love that movie.
What about yours? What do you got?
Gosh, best movie that I like, but I'm embarrassed to admit.
Deep Blue Sea.
Oh God, not Deep Blue Sea. Get that shit out of here.
Deep Blue Sea.
Gosh, I don't even know. Maybe Matrix Reloaded, because a lot of people hate that movie, but I actually liked it. I thought it was pretty good. It was the second Matrix movie.
Oh, okay.
You mean the one where they didn't spend that much time in the Matrix?
Well, actually, they spent a lot of time in the Matrix.
I guess
I think
it's the third one.
Is it? That's the one with those weird white dudes with the dreadlocks, right?
White dudes with the dreadlocks. Neo's got he can fly and crazy powers.
Neo.
But it's a lot different than the original. A lot of people didn't like it, but I actually do like it. So I'd say Matrix Reloaded.
All right.
My guilty pleasure.
So Scott, aka Chris, is Kung Pao at the Fist. Nate, yours is Matrix Reloaded. Larry, what's yours?
A movie that I really like. I just went to go look at my old shelf of DVDs that I never touch anymore to try to find something. And I couldn't find anything. I've got Mean Girls, but I feel like a lot of people like Mean Girls. I'm not ashamed to say that I like Mean Girls. It has Lindsay Lohan. Who doesn't love Lindsay Lohan?
National treasure.
Without that reasoning, I would have questioned it. But yeah. Okay.
I've got some other random ones. There's a Chevy Chase movie called Cops and Robertsons that came out late 90s that nobody's probably seen. That is an amazing movie that me and my cousin watched 50 times over a weekend one time when I was hanging out in Chicago, at his place. It's got sentimental value. It's a really, really, really good movie that I guarantee you nobody's seen.
This may sound odd, but I distinctly remember going to the movie store, going to Blockbuster and renting that movie.
Yep. See, nice. That's what we did. And then we watched it the entire weekend over and over and over again for some reason.
Amazing.
So yeah, that spawned a whole love for Chevy Chase. It was around the same time Vegas Vacation came out. Vegas Vacation's in my top 5, hands down. Great movie.
Vegas is a great movie. I love Vegas Vacation.
Mine is it's this movie. I don't know if you guys. I said, let me know if you guys have seen this movie. And it's called Life as a House. It's got emo Hayden Christensen in it and Kevin Kline. It's like the sappy chick flick movie.
Oh no!
But I love this movie. It's probably, like I said, besides a superhero or sci-fi movie, it's probably the other movie that I've probably seen the most amount of times. I've probably seen it a good 20-ish times. I don't know. I don't know why I like it. Like I said, it's not really even that well done. I think it's just a weird story. I know why I like it. I can peg out why I like it. Is that movie specifically, the entire soundtrack is done by one specific band. And that one band is one of my favorite bands called Guster. I said the entire soundtrack of the entire movie is that one band.
That's why. Isn't that the band you've seen most in person too? Did you just say that this week?
Yeah. Most in person too. So
that kind of makes sense when you explain it that way.
So
absolutely.
I like the music. And the album that one is based on is probably my favorite album of theirs too. It's so well. So they go so far. Like so, this band is so intertwined into this movie where the dog is named Guster in the actual movie.
No, that's cool.
That's cool.
So if you want to see emo Hayden Christensen pre-Star Wars, or like I said, pre-Star Wars episode 2, or it might be post-Star Wars episode 2. I know it's right around that same time.
Because he wasn't in episode 1, so I think where you were going is after he had been Anakin, so it's probably after episode 2.
Teen Anakin, yeah.
So you've seen that the second most, I think you said, right? So what's the movie you've seen the most? Let's do that real quick.
The movie I've seen the most.
I know mine. I think you guys know mine. It's very related to the last movie I talked about. I'm pretty sure it's a tie between the first Fast and the Furious and the second Fast and the Furious. I'm pretty sure I've seen those more than anything. However, the original trilogy of Star Wars is up there too, because there was that one summer when my friends like were helping to get me into Star Wars when I was like a freshman in high school, and it was like, you know, before DVDs, before all that stuff, and people walked around. And how you proved how big of a Star Wars fan you were was by how many times you had seen Star Wars. And that was like the nerdy thing, like Star Wars fan. I'm a Star Wars fan because I've seen it 50 times. Well, I sat down that summer and I watched the original trilogy. I think I made it up to like 15 times each. So that's like 40. Like I watched one a day for like 45 days.
Jeez.
I was committed. That is summer vacation, right? How I spent my summer vacation. Fond memories of watching Star Wars, probably summer of '96.
That is a fantastic way to spend your summer vacation.
Yep.
It's packed away right now, but the movie I've actually seen the most is The Goonies. I've probably seen it at least 60 times, if not more.
Yeah. Great selection.
So I know on VHS alone, I know there's a good 32-ish times on there, just because there's actually tally marks inside the box of how many times I've seen it. So I'd mark inside the box every time I've seen that movie. So
that's awesome.
Kind of real quick to the chat. So Travis, Princess Bride is a common one. Bear Smart liking. So Princess Bride is actually a good movie.
I like Princess Bride.
I'm down with Princess Bride. Brian Rainey, Breakfast Club. Breakfast Club is honest. Here's what's funny. Breakfast Club is a great movie. My wife had actually never seen the Breakfast Club. I still honestly don't think she's seen it. Where it was one of those movies where, like I said, it has such a following that one of her coworkers actually gifted her copies of Breakfast Club and 16 Candles. Just so like, hey, it's almost a crime that you haven't seen these. So here, watch these movies.
Yeah, it's one of those cult classics that I definitely think is a great movie.
Yeah, for sure. Uncle Buck was on TV the other day. Another John Hughes classic. I hadn't seen that since I was little. I actually watched it yesterday. It's really good.
That makes me think about What About Bob?
What About Bob is great.
That's a good movie too, man.
Yeah. I'd say my top viewed movies are definitely my two top fives that I said, RoboCop and Back to the Future. I've probably seen Back to the Future more than any other movie ever because I watch it every time it's on TV. But those are definitely my two highest viewed movies.
Scott, what about yours? What do you?
So I can tell you with certainty, my guilty pleasure movie, Kung Pao, that DVD is worn down. Like I've watched that one so many times. But outside of that one, I think Jurassic Park is probably the other movie that I've worn out.
The original?
Yeah.
The original Jurassic Park. I had it on VHS. As soon as DVDs came out, I was one of the first DVDs that I had bought the VHS, replaced the VHS for. Like, I love that movie.
Mm-hmm. Remember when owning a movie on VHS was something special because those damn VHSs cost so much?
Yeah.
Like it was like I only had like 5 or 6 VHSs and I probably can remember them all.
That, and then like I said, once you finish the movie, you never wanted to rewind it at that point in time. You're like, oh, let's do it next time. And then you get pissed at yourself. So the next time you go to watch the movie, you have to wait 5 minutes before you can watch the movie because you have to rewind the tape.
Yeah.
Or the original ECRs that didn't actually have the rewind function. You actually had to put the videotape in a separate device in order to rewind the tape.
Yeah, I was gonna say, dude, my parents was fancy because we had the rewinder. Where's that little thing that you pop it in there and run it?
Jeremy, you never heard "Be Kind, Always Rewind"? I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
That movie.
What about the people that want to see it but after you?
That movie was horrible. I said that's like a half-star movie. Not necessarily a 0-star movie, but it's a half-star movie.
Who's in that?
Jack Black and
Mos Def.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Brian Rainey just said something that's very shocking. He's never seen Jurassic Park. Dude, you have got to see it. It's one of the best movies.
You can ignore all the other ones. They're not all that great. Watch the first one.
The first one is by far the best one.
I agree. If you haven't seen RoboCop or Fast and the Furious, don't worry about those. Go watch Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Well, hold on a second about RoboCop, buddy. You need to watch RoboCop, all right? That's an amazing movie. So Casual said a few others. Fight Club, he's watched it like 30 times.
It's a
Excellent
great movie.
Yeah, I watch it all the time.
Tyler Durden.
Yeah.
Please Be Kind and Rewind. That's another good Jack Black movie. A little bit. It's not one of my favorites, but it's not a bad movie.
See, for me, I think that movie was hyped up because it was like coming off of like I can't remember what like movie Jack Black had like that came out a little bit before, but it was trying to ride as a little hype train. So I thought it was going to be so great, and the trailers made it seem like they're going to do all these movies, and you don't really actually get to see the movies they made.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that too. Like I remember the trailers did make it look really good, but the movie did not live up to the hype. Well, I'm trying to see when it came out.
Didn't they just drop it? It wasn't even in theaters. Didn't they just like? Well, it was supposed to be in theaters, wasn't it? Didn't they just drop it directly to video?
Yeah, I think you're
I
right.
think so. That was like part of the point, right? Because it was VHS movie.
And
It came out in 2000. It was 2008.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was like a college year for me because I remember watching it in a like either like somebody's house or like a dorm or something. So like it's not that old.
Oh, looks like I got a mistake. Casual said he was just talking about the Please Be Kind Rewind on Blockbuster VHS tapes. He's never seen the movie. My bad, Casual.
You're not missing much, Casual. Like I said, it's not a very good movie.
No, it's not.
Scott, 2008. So also in 2008 was Kung Fu Panda and Tropic Thunder. But like before that was King Kong in 2005, Nacho Libre 2006, School of Rock 2003, like Shallow Hal 2001. So yeah, like all of the good Jack Black movies had already come out by the time Be Kind Rewind.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to get crucified for saying this, but I don't like Jack Black. I think he's annoying. His movies, I'm not a big fan of.
So
I know that's a popular vote.
I like Jack Black, but not as an actor, but as Tenacious D.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
the music and everything, but he's one of those people that like typecast themselves and they always play the same role, so they have that
Funny fat
thing. Yeah, it's like he's like funny fat dude. So there is a couple movies, Nate. I think I have them. I'll have to bring it in to try to change your mind because there is a couple ones where it's like a completely serious, like not a joke in the movie that are actually pretty good.
Another movie from my top 5 has Jack Black in it, and it's the only Jack Black movie I like is Orange County.
Oh yes, I like.
Great movie.
Orange County was good.
It was amazing. Yeah, with Colin Hanks. Great.
Joe.
Mhm.
John,
Yeah.
your name's Joe John.
Yeah,
John
Joe John.
Why aren't you wearing any pants, Joe? There's fire. You know,
He was like, "I'm gonna burn this mother down."
I'm like, you better not. You better not.
She says electrical fire.
That movie was great. That movie was funny. Like I said, well, that and then you got to see, like I said, Tom Hanks' son. Like it's just like I don't know. It was such an underrated movie for what it was, but like I said, that movie, like I said, it's so funny. Anything else for tonight, guys?
No, I think that's about it.
We've gone on enough tangents.
It's after 10. Yeah, it's been an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we should plug our stuff.
Yes, Larry. I said you're the official plugger.
Yeah.
There's an amazing plugger.
Shill, Larry, shill.
So we dropped some cool videos this week. If you check out our YouTube channel, you can watch me unbox a lot of Thor Ragnarok mystery minis. Nate picked up that cool Joker figure when he was in Japan. So we got those. Oh, Jeremy opened up the February BAM box just today. So you haven't watched that yet. It actually had some pretty cool stuff in it.
In the video, like I said, I'm trying to figure out what the hell the one-up was. The one-up was the photo. I finally figured that out.
Really?
I was trying to figure out what it was because I'm like, it wasn't the print. It wasn't the other art print. I said it was. I guess it was the photo. And then Brian pointed out, said that there wasn't a pin in the box, and I was like, you're right. I'm like, there wasn't a pin in the box. So I guess they announced that they weren't doing a pin. I just didn't really announce it.
That's weird. That's weird. They usually don't one up the picture, right? The autograph, like it's usually the prints.
Yeah.
How is that even a one-up? Is it like like they sat down and decided this picture is a better picture than the other two we had to offer?
So I don't know.
Lame.
It's something that's so what makes it the one up is that it has the Supergirl symbol on the picture.
Oh, so
now
you know
I
who
know.
she is, because otherwise I would have no clue who she was.
I had no
No.
idea who it was.
I
either.
didn't watch Smallville.
Well, here's the funny thing is, at first I got excited because I'm like, I saw the symbol. I'm like, oh, sweet. I'm like, this is like Supergirl. I'm like, wait, that's not Supergirl.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've seen Supergirl up on TV. And I'm like, I know what she looks like.
I've
So
been
that-
robbed.
Yeah, CW Supergirl would have been awesome, but not Smallville Supergirl.
See, I got really excited at first, but like the way they brought it, it was like upside down in the thing. So I saw the card first and saw the lady's picture, and I was like, and I saw Supergirl at first. So I was like, yeah, and I was like, yeah, who the hell is like Valerie Vandervoort? Like I was like, who that? Like, what is this thing?
Scott, did you get any one ups at all?
No one ups for me.
Yeah. So the only one I got was, like I said, it was the picture. It wasn't even, like I said, it wasn't the prints or anything. Oh yeah, no, Brian, it wasn't the prints that were the one ups. It was the picture, the signed autograph. I am going to be trying, because since me and Scott both get the band box. Scott, you're sticking with band box, right?
Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with it at least for a little bit longer.
So I'm actually going to switch up the box a little bit. So I think I'm going to choose a different box. If you guys have an casual, if you're still on, what box do you suggest, man? I'm looking.
We already get Loot Crate, Geek Fuel, BAM, right? Are there any others?
Is there any others, or Brian? Anybody in chat? I know casual. I want to do some different ones. So
He has unboxing in his name.
yes.
I think
He
that
knows
automatically
about
makes you an unboxing expert. So
Yeah.
unboxings. What else have we unboxed? Oh, I unboxed Geek Fuel like a week ago, I think.
Yeah.
I've got 2 more unboxings coming up. So another figure I got from Japan, and then another Mezco I got recently.
We actually have a really good queue of stuff coming up, because I know Scott's got a good mystery package that was coming in the mail that he ordered from ThinkGeek. I've got T-Blocks coming Monday, I think. So we'll have that real soon. And in addition to all this Funko stuff I named earlier, I've bought even more. So I'm going to do like a mega mail haul kind of video real soon too. So check our YouTube channel. If you're not already subscribed, you can get there by going to stsguys.online or go to stsguys.com. You can find the links to everything like our Instagram, Twitter, SoundCloud. I don't know. What else are we on? Oh, you should probably go check out our Patreon too. If you'd like to support us, because as we mentioned in our last podcast, we've actually officially launched a Patreon page. We already had our first patron. So if you want to join that hype train and get your name and a nice shout out. Yep. Shout out to Drew. If you want to get your name at the end of our videos, if you notice that cue card, you just got to go to our Patreon, check out those tiers, and find out which tier it is to get your name listed. And you can be part of every single STS Guys video.
Yeah, thanks for your support, guys. Really appreciate it. Whether it's in comments or joining these live streams or going to our Patreon or visiting us on our Instagram, whatever it is, we appreciate it.
We're still on Facebook too, just like your mom.
Oh, Larry. We're also on a new platform as well, right?
Oh, what is it? I don't even know what it's called. Do you know what it's called?
Vero.
Vero. Dude,
Yeah.
Vero is like, you guys remember that, what was it, Evo? It like crashed and burned too. It's something that came out a lot like Vero that tried to replace Instagram.
Yeah.
Didn't last long. I feel like Vero might be going down that path.
Like I was all into it. I think we signed up like end of last week, right?
Yeah.
It's been a whole week now. I was all into it like last weekend, but it was so slow. Like I couldn't do anything on there that I honestly after that, like I haven't even gone back really. I made that STS Guys page. I got a personal page. You can follow me too if you want. Like I don't care. But I'm not really posting anything because it is so damn slow.
Yeah, I tried to post last week and it crashed.
Yeah. That's even if you can log in. Like it'll sit there like in the loading screen for me for like a good 5 minutes.
Yeah. So even though we just crushed it, go add STS Guys on Vero.
Yeah. When I was trying to log in, it literally wouldn't let me sign up. Like it was lagging so much that when you'd send like the text verification, by the time I could enter it into the system, it'd be like, that code has expired. I'm like, all right, good. Send another one, I guess.
Lame, man. Lame. I like all that hype you got and all everybody trying to bandwagon onto the new hot thing. I don't know. I think they just really probably killed themselves. But we'll see. It's cool. I like the fact there's no algorithm. There's no ads too. Like the ads on Instagram and stuff don't really bother me, but I really like the fact that the algorithm is gone and you can just see posted in chronological order, just like God intended.
Mm-hmm.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, hallelujah, Barrow.
All right, Larry got our plugs.
I got our plugs, man.
Larry, thanks for plugging. That you are the best plugger that there is known to man. I think that does it for this week's episode of the STS guys. So for episode 25, I am Jeremy.
I'm Larry.
I'm Nate.
And apparently I'm now Chris.
Scott.
I did. I was like, I don't even know anymore, guys.
Come on, Chris, get it together.
All right.
Thanks everybody for tuning in.
Thank you guys.
Bye. We're the STS guys.